This is the Realme Buds Air Neo. They look a lot like the regular Realme Buds Air, have a lot of similar features, but come in at ₹1,000 cheaper. So, are they any good? And more importantly, where do they stand when compared to the other budget truly wireless solution, the Redmi Earbuds S? Well, let's find out in today's video. Hey guys, Omar here from C4E Tech, and if you do end up enjoying this video, then please consider subscribing and turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get started. Now side by side, the Buds Air and the Buds Air Neo look remarkably similar. The case for the Neo is a tiny bit larger. To the bottom we have a micro USB instead of a Type-C port, and there is no wireless charging either. The lack of the wireless charging coil to the back is probably why the case here is about 10 grams lighter. Other than that, both share the same design with a button to the front and a status LED above it. Comparing it to the Redmi Earbuds S, they come in a bigger case that I find isn't as easy to just slip into a pocket and carry around. Coming to the earbuds themselves, there are a few key differences between the regular Realme Buds Air and the Buds Air Neo. First up, this little wear detection sensor on the Buds Air. That's missing here, so when we pull them out of our ears, nothing happens. So no autoplay or pause functionality. The Redmi Earbuds S doesn't have that functionality either. Moving on, we also don't have the secondary noise cancellation microphone on here, so I'm expecting the call quality to be a little worse. Noise cancellation is still present during calls, but it's based on an algorithm, kind of like what we have seen before with the Redmi Earbuds S. Now, you guys wanted us to test the call quality, and well, we did, and here's the deal. The Realme Buds Air is at the top, followed by the Buds Air Neo. Both of them do well thanks to the mic being on the stem. The pickup on them is a lot better. At the last place, we have the Redmi Earbuds S. They are fine for indoor usage, but once we are outside, the mic is so far away from the mouth that sometimes it can fail to pick up our voice properly. Anyway, coming back to the Realme Buds Air Neo, we have two other cosmetic changes here. The accent ring to the bottom is gone, and up top we have a bit of exposed speaker mesh. I don't really know if it's an aesthetic touch or it somehow contributes to the audio experience. Speaking of audio, let's talk about how these sound. Interestingly, we seem to have larger 13mm drivers in here compared to the 12mm drivers of the Buds Air. As promised by Realme, these do deliver a lot of bass. In fact, the sound signature of the Buds Air Neo are a lot like the Redmi Earbuds S. They are bass and low-end heavy, sacrificing a bit of the highs and mids. This means EDM and Bollywood songs are amazing to listen to, but if you prefer instrumental or vocals, then the regular Buds Air might be a better choice. As far as codec support is concerned, there is support for AAC like the regular Buds Air, but no LDAC or aptX HD. But hey, that's at least one better than the Redmi Earbuds S. They only support one standard streaming codec. But the more important question here is, which one of them sound better? Well, to answer that, first we have to talk a bit about their fit. Like the regular Buds Air, these are semi-in-ear style earphones, which means that there is no complete seal within the ear cavity. So depending on your ear shape, there can be a minimal or quite a bit of sound leakage. Now during our testing, when we jammed the Buds Air Neo into our ears, the sound isolation was really good. But as time passed and we moved around, the fit began to go slightly loose and I ended up not feeling that thump of the bass anymore. Now that's not to say that the Buds Air Neo are loose enough that they'd fall out of your ears. Heck no, these are lightweight and comfortable, yet the design is good enough that they won't really fall out, even while working out. And yes, just like the Buds Air, these earphones are also IPX4 rated, which means we can work out and get sweaty without worrying about damaging them. Anyway, the reason why I went into all of this is to tell you guys that no matter who makes them, as long as they have the partially in-ear design, be it the Realme Buds Air Neo or the Mi TWS2, they all have the same sound leakage problem. In contrast, the fully in-ear Redmi Earbuds S fit more snugly into the ear. This means despite sporting smaller 7mm drivers, the Redmi Earbuds S give great bass, similar to the Buds Air and Buds Air Neo. However, the Realme Buds Air Neo perform a lot better in the mids and highs. So if I had to choose between these two, I'd go with the Buds Air Neo for sound quality. Even though I like how the in-ear design of the Redmi Earbuds S provides a nice seal and prevents sound leakage. That being said, I find the design of the Buds Air Neo pretty comfortable for my ear shape. At 4.1 grams each, these are light enough that I can wear it around for hours on stretch without any fatigue. But the fit might not be so nice for others out there. And depending on that, the sound quality may vary too. Anyway, we have talked a lot about the sound and fit of these earphones. Let's now jump into the battery life. At about 80% volume, we got around 2.5 hours on the Buds Air Neo, which is on par with what we expect from the Buds Air. The Redmi Earbuds S lasted us a bit longer though. Of course, one thing that I feel worth mentioning here is that these are music listening times. If the mic is being used, such as on a voice call, the battery drops a lot faster. However, if we take the battery life of the earbuds plus the carrying case into account, then the Earbuds S are rated at only 12 hours, while Realme claims that the Buds Air Neo can last for 17 hours. The Realme Buds Air Neo come with the R1 chip on board, which means we have support for Google Fast Pair, something the Redmi Earbuds S lack. That being said, the connection process for both earphones are pretty seamless. Just flip the box open and they should connect to the device. We also have Bluetooth 5.0 on board, so the range is pretty great on both. And since we are speaking about similarities, Realme has included a gaming mode in here as well. Activating it is as easy as long pressing on both earphones at the same time. We hear an engine rev up and now we are in game mode. The latency in here is greatly reduced. It comes down to 119.2 milliseconds, basically the same as the Buds Air. And that I feel is good enough to play a game of PUBG. Of course, the Redmi Earbuds S also have a game mode included and the latency there is slightly higher at 122 milliseconds. Now, I'm no competitive PUBG player, but when I tried them out, the latency on both the Buds Air Neo as well as the Redmi Earbuds S felt about the same. Moving on to navigation, we have touch controls on the Realme Earbuds Neo. These are exactly the same ones as we have seen with the Realme Buds Air. So double tap to play and pause, triple tap to skip tracks, and tap and hold for a second on any ear to summon Google Assistant. The touch gestures work well, and the best part is that the Buds Air Neo can be paired with the Realme Link app. This means we can also customize these functions through the app. Oh, and as usual, we also have double tap to accept and end calls. Comparing that to the physical button on the Redmi Earbuds S, we can't really skip tracks there. What's more, there's no companion app in here that we can use to customize the controls. So I ended up preferring the touch controls and customizability of the Realme Buds Air Neo over the button on the Redmi Earbuds S. So overall, what are my thoughts on the Realme Buds Air Neo and how does it compare to the Redmi Earbuds S? Well, it does give up on a few nice to haves like wireless charging, Type-C port, WAV detection. But it does retain the great sound, the lightweight and the low latency modes, which means if you are looking for a semi-in-ear style TWS, then at 2,999 rupees, the Realme Buds Air Neo are a great deal. If you don't care about the music quality that much and prefer to have an in-ear design, then at 1,799 rupees, the Redmi Earbuds S are worth looking into. That being said, if you can afford it, at just 1,200 rupees more, the Realme Buds Air sound a lot better for music and also in calls, and thus they get my recommendation. That's been it for this comparison. Now I know a lot of you guys were confused about which budget truly wireless solution to buy, so we compared them both in this video. Now that you know my picks, I want to know what you guys think. Do you prefer the Realme Buds Air Neo or the Redmi Earbuds S? Let us know by dropping a hashtag Redmi or a hashtag Realme in the comments below. And that brings us to the end of this video. So if you did end up liking it, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for sticking around till the end, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.